Great. Mary, I am so delighted that you're here chatting with me this morning. You were one of our fabulous attendees at the retreat last year, last November. And I'd love you just to share for me, in your own words, I suppose, what your expectation was maybe before you came in, and then how you found just the whole experience as a we call it the business holistic business retreat for two reasons, and I'd love to just see from yourself how that reflected back in what you actually experienced.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can't believe it's nearly a year ago, Fiona. It's the first thing, coming up to November. Um, and in terms of expectations, I really didn't know what to expect. Um, I obviously knew you, but I didn't know anybody else in advance. So it was completely, had no idea. Um, Paris Court Springs, also not familiar with it. And the first thing I remember is like the big welcome from you and Catherine. And that just totally put me at ease, like really, really genuine, warm welcome. And then remember the others started coming in after that. Lovely, lovely group. Um, and something I suppose I was thinking beforehand, like, how can I take this time out, that felt like an overindulgence, really, to be taking time out like that. But what my experience of it then was that it was, sorry about that, it actually kind of, it actually worked in reverse, in that by taking the time, you realize you actually needed the time. Um, and the I think a few things kind of came together on that, like lovely, lovely group. It just, like, there's just a great camaraderie between everybody, um, and a lot of kind of give and take between everybody, which I wasn't expecting. And everybody has their own thing going on, including yourself and Catherine. And I thought you and Catherine had a very complementary set of skills, in that, you're more the business kind of focus, and then Catherine is, the minding, the self-care, the well-being. And I know you do that as well. Um, the location, very, very relaxing. Like, the rooms, lovely, that quiet, the beautiful surroundings, like that woodland, the river, the llamas up in the field,
Yeah. Yeah.
food was fantastic, the decor, just all very conducive to, um, yeah, to like a very genuinely relaxing space. Like, not like relaxing in the sense that some people might think going shopping is like a relaxing day. This wasn't that kind of
Yeah.
relaxing. And is
Yeah.
that even relaxing,
Yeah.
where nothing fits you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the pacing was really nice as well, actually. The way you kind of had a mix up of, okay, meeting for a meal, and making sure everybody's in on the conversation, and maybe with the option of doing a yoga class or not, or joining, like, for like a kind of a circle conversation and some journaling. And I still have the notebook from last year, the notes I've made. And it's funny, like, that was so valuable, even kind of capturing thoughts there and then,
Mm.
and not relying on yourself to remember them. And looking back on them now is a very interesting exercise, and reflecting on, I suppose, the year that was, and thinking about the year ahead and what you want to get out of it. And not just in a business sense, but in a life sense, like,
Mm.
I think that's probably the holistic piece, like,
Yeah.
how running a business sits into your overall life, and what your priorities are, and maybe a little bit of a regrouping back to, okay, have I kind of lost my way here a bit? Am I
Yeah.
getting overly influenced by outside forces? And really, what do I want? What do I want as an individual? Um, so I thought it was like just the perfect setting for all of that.
Yeah.
And with all of that, also, like, it really felt like a genuine break, like a mini holiday. That's only up the road. You're not leaving the country.
Yeah.
It's here. Um, and the great food, and the nurturing, like a kind of a nurturing sort of a feeling to it. felt
Yeah.
really well-minded and cared for in a genuine way.
Yeah. And as you know, as a business owner, as a professional, especially, being women, being nurtured and cared for by somebody else is something that we're not used to
Oh, totally. No.
receiving. So it's a funny one to, I suppose, include as part of a retreat space. Because yes, you can go to a retreat that, there's a larger quantity of people, but it's up to you to kind of do that for yourself. But um, would you feel in this case, actually, you felt that you were minded to a degree without being
Oh yeah,
like
really, really minded.
kids and the
You
mother?
know, and I think, sometimes when you hear the word business, like a business anything, you're thinking,
Mm,
oh, okay, now the tone of this is going to be kind
yeah,
of corporate or pushy,
yeah,
or you need to show up look in a certain way. And it wasn't like that at all. You know, like you could head out in your pajamas and it
yes,
was fine. Like, um, so yeah, definitely like that holistic piece, like of how the business fits into your life. Like it's a
yeah,
part. Like if you look at that kind of wheel of life idea, I suppose, like where running a business is one piece of it. It's not all of
just
you,
one
or
piece.
even like half of you.
Yeah,
It's a slice of the pie. So I think considering it in relation to the other pieces, and seeing, okay, is it maybe taking more of the wheel or the pie than it should, and as a result have maybe other areas suffered. And I think that's something that women are probably particularly prone to, because like you said, you're used to minding everybody else. You're used to being the nurturer, not the other way around. um, and that's something that I think kind of creeps up on you over time, and you don't even notice it happening as such. It just is.
just
So really lovely to kind of step back a bit. And then of course Paris Court Springs, the internet is just
a
pretty
little
bad
bit
there.
dodgy.
Yeah, like you can make a call in certain places.
You
Even
can
that,
stretch to a call, but
yeah,
yeah, kind of limits it after that, which
yeah,
in itself is actually
it's
um
actually a huge plus,
huge
huge plus,
plus,
because you kind
huge
of
plus.
realize I
Yeah,
actually don't need to be doing that the whole time. I can manage for a few days to not be like online. Nobody even
yeah,
notices. So
yes, and the world will not fall apart in your
no,
absence.
and it doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you go back out to the world, and everything is exactly where you left it. You know.
Yeah, there can be a fear, especially as business owners, because our businesses are dependent so much on us. So there can be that reluctance of, but that's a chunk of time. There's like 2 working days, and that's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Gosh, that's 2 working days that I could be getting through my to-do list, or making, just keeping on top of things. Um, but would you say that, having then given yourself, got over that and said, okay, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. And the list will be okay. When you return back to base, did you feel your list was actually okay?
Yeah, no, I did. I actually felt more more open to the list. Like more at peace with it, because the
Yeah.
list, the list is always growing, and it always will. Um, until you're dead. The list will be finished when you're dead, because
Jumped in on.
but I think that's the only way you get to list zero, or whatever you'd like to call it. So
Yeah.
I think like coming back at it, feeling like you've had a break, been very pleasantly surprised actually, by how it all turned out. You're in a better frame of mind even for tackling the list, or taking on things maybe that you've been
Mhm.
kicking down the road for ages.
And maybe you discovered that half the stuff on the list, actually having taken the time to review, as you see that wheel where the business fits in and where your priority is, by the time you've left, you've reprioritized things, which possibly in effect ditches half the stuff off your list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
It's no longer relevant.
Yeah, because you had time there to reflect, that you wouldn't ordinarily take.
Yeah.
You might grab a few minutes here and there, but like to have that extended stretch of time where genuinely there was no pressure on you to do anything, nothing, and you were, you know, uncontactable a lot of the time, which is a plus. Because again, you know, if somebody really needs you, they can just ring the hotel anyway. You know, that's
Absolutely,
always an option.
absolutely.
So you don't need to be panicking about being out of range with your phone. Because I think we're all so used to, you know, being attached to the mobiles, and I put
So
myself
attached,
top
yeah.
of the list.
And
Yeah,
so absolutely, like I suppose obtainable at any moment in time.
exactly. Yeah,
But you know, so there is a structure to the week, to the 3 days. There's a gentle structure, there is a bit of an agenda. There are kind of, let's call them workshops. You know, because there is a flow of bringing you in one way and allowing you to leave a different way in regards to vision and goals. Did you feel the structure, let's call it, because structure, a word by itself, can feel like do regimental. Did you feel that as you paced through the weekend, or did you not?
yeah. You know, I didn't feel a structure in the kind of traditional sense of structure, like, you know, I have to be here, have to be here, have to be there. Wasn't like that at all. Um, there was, I felt that there's a nice kind of a flow, a nice rhythm to it. It didn't feel overbearing. There were plenty of nice spaces in between activities, or, you know, which were optional anyway. Um, yeah, which I felt, you know, I think he's got the balance just right with that.
Mm,
Um,
great, 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 great.
mm,
Excellent. No, and it was an absolute pleasure and joy to have you at our very first one. And delighted that you got to experience.
yeah, and the same here.
If you were to share one little piece with somebody who might be considering but just not sure if they can really push themselves to that investment of time and money, would you say anything in particular?
Well, I would say I would urge them to go for it. And if anybody wants to give me a shout, you know, send me a DM or an email. I'm happy to talk to somebody. You know, if there's anything they were wondering about, or if they had any, I don't know,
Yeah,
anxieties or anything around it, I'd be happy to
yeah,
have
yeah.
a chat.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Mary. And it is a small group, and that, you know, you did say about the camaraderie. It is a small group of women, pretty much like-minded, all kind of in the same sort of frame. Although at the same time we're mixed, you know, personalities. So but yet everybody connected, and that is the essence of who ends up coming. In the end, are those who actually are meant to be there and
Mm,
are meant to meet and find that connection. And some often you learn more through the connection of others, not just what myself or Catherine might be sharing with you or teaching you. It's actually through other people's stories that take place over those few days in a very safe, comfortable
yeah,
environment.
actually, yeah. And I meant to say that it did feel very safe,
Mm,
very, very safe. And, you know, no, nothing's been recorded. There's nothing like that. It felt, you know, because you've already, and I felt actually very quickly kind of formed bonds with other people.
yeah.
Like, you know, like that sense of trust amongst the group, and it is a small group, and
Yeah.
everybody sharing, you know, which even that says a lot about the sense of trust that people built up pretty quickly.
Yeah, that they were open to it. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it is a bunch of strangers coming together for a few days, so it is close knit. Um, but yeah, so look, if you are interested in the last couple of spaces that are available, give me a shout. And you know, it's called the Holistic Business Retreat for two reasons. One, because it is wrapped in holistic wellness and safety, everything that Mary has described here. But it also has that theme of, you know, empowering your business to the next level by taking the time out to have a look at what's working, what's not working, and what you would love the upcoming year of 2025 to look like. So,
mm.
thank you for listening and talk to you soon. Thank you, Mary, for being here.
Very welcome.
Bye.